Alright guys, I don't know if this is officially day one because it's supposed to get to 86 today, and they said they don't want to pile beets if it's over 80. So today may be another pile just enough for the factory to keep running. And if we do that, it's probably also going to be on the north side again. But we'll see, who knows? They might open up all of it and let us actually run on our own piling sites. But either way, it's not that cold. Like I said, it's going to be 86 today. Not having to wear any warm clothes yet, just wearing regular socks, no thermal or insulated long johns. Just an insulated sweatshirt and a nice thin little long sleeve t-shirt. But yeah, we're supposed to be here at 7:30. We are allowed to clock in at 7:23. Every extra little bit counts, so we'll get moving. And it's supposed to be a fun day. I'm gonna see if I can't stay where I'm supposed to be on my piler and do a lot of practice of just doing the different culverts, switching buckets, pretending to backfill. That way I can figure out a rhythm, because I can't just set all the culverts. I'm supposed to set one or two and then backfill them and then move to the next thing, and then get more culverts and then backfill them, and then culverts and backfill. And then they said they want me to be able to also clean the site too, but there is a roaming skid steer, so I can always have them do that work. But as far as the sugar beet goes, the only complaint that I have so far, and I think this is the same complaint that everybody else has, is they required us to be here on September 21st, but they refused to do stay pay until October 1st. So for us and a lot of other people, we could have stayed where we were for another 10, 12 days and collected a whole nother paycheck or paycheck and a half. And so there's some people here that are not happy that they're not getting paid, but they are required to be here, which is fair. So that would be the only issue that I have. But I think you can get around that issue if you're here for a couple years and you get on pre-pile. Or if you're a foreman, I think you get around it both of those ways. So maybe you just have to stick it out for the first year or two, which we plan to do anyways, but we'll let you know. Hey guys, we are at the sugar beet harvest, day number 1. I did get the skid steer job. The way the tryouts go is if you are the best on the day of the tryout, during your tryout, then you get the spot, regardless of if you've done 20, 30, 40 years or if you've done no experience at all. It's whoever is the best at the day of the tryout, you get the spot. That being said, I do have quite a bit of experience, but there are definitely some guys here that just have no experience. They came and played with a skid steer and they just, for whatever reason, they picked it up. There's some people like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna cruise around. I have the job of moving culverts because the beets have to last from now, which is October, all the way in through May. And so they freeze the piles, and they freeze them with culverts that are perforated. And so they can blow cold air in there to freeze the piles and keep them nice and cold. And so my job is to stay out of the way of the piler and the trucks, but I got to be able to do the culverts quickly. And then I also had to be able to switch between this specialized implement on the front to do the culverts and the bucket, because then I got to backfill all my joints. And then I also got to be able to scoop all the dirt and beets and mud off the piler and out of the way of the piler. So the position I have is super busy. The other position for a skid steer is the roamer. They take care of 3 pilers where they just have a bucket and they're just running back and forth with a bucket, scooping dirt, and doing that. And
that's what they do on that. And then if they're called on the radio, they're the ones that have to go do things. So the position that I am at a dedicated piler, and I got to do everything on site for that piler, and I got to be quick. But you have to be safe, and that was a big thing that they were looking for in the training. Is there's a ton of people that can do this, but can you do it safely? Because I got people on the ground, I got a big machine that's moving, I got trucks that are moving, and some of these truck drivers are 13 or 14 years old, and it's their first time in a truck. So I got to watch out for all of that. Plus I got to lay culvert perfectly straight and backfill it on the joints so they don't blow out, because then we lose the pile or pieces of the pile. So it's a lot of responsibility, but if you find your rhythm and get in a groove, you do got to get in a groove with your piler crew, and everything will be just good. All right, guys, let's do some work. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for having a camera, but we are allowed to have our phone. We are allowed to have Bluetooth running. I've already hooked that up to the cat. I'm a big fan of that. I like that. It's that way the foreman can get a hold of me. I got a radio also. So we got 12.5-foot culverts, and we got 15s. I need to be able to set them down, I need to be able to roll them, and I got to be able to put them together with no gap. So it takes a little bit of practice to get used to it. The machine does have the auto leveler thing. I don't like it. Some of the other guys do, but it really depends. So I got to be able to roll this one to the right, and I got to stop it right where I want it, and I got to be able to roll it to the left. Back to the right. There it is. And then if I need to adjust it, I'll just pick it up, square it up, drop it down, pick it back up. But I gotta line these up 6 in a row from the fan thing, the fan blower pipe thing that's on the sides. And then I gotta run 6 in a row, 6 or 7 in a row, and they don't meet in the middle because I gotta be able to go through with the skid steer and a bucket, and I gotta backfill the gaps with all the beets. And I'm not allowed to do any mud, so. Just getting used to it. This is a cat, it's a 262. Used to a different machine, so this one, a lot of people when they move to a new machine they say it's twitchy, and that's pretty fair. A lot of times new electronics, new technology, so you got to get used to the new machine and what it does. So on these they always want the tip down first, set them, back out. So you got to be able to stack them up in big triangles, and you got to be able to get them off and put them in a row real quick. You got to be able to roll them left and right, and you got to be able to control that roll. And then also, if you get the job that I have where you got to do the culverts, you also have to do the cleaning of the pad with a bucket. And then you gotta, so you got a large bucket, and then you got a small bucket, small regular bucket, and then you got this pipe implement. So you got to be able to switch between the 3 of them quickly. You can't lose them in the beet piles. You can't lose them. They can't be in the way. You can't be in the way of the trucks. So literally a lot of the times your implement is all the way up and then down, and you're spinning like a tank. So they said being slow and being right is better than being fast and tapping the machine or being in the way or messing up. So get over your nerves, get over your whatever, and Just get to it. Get in the groove. You got to get in the groove with your operator. You got to get in the groove with your boom operator. So I got to be in the groove with those two people. I do have a roaming skid steer that I can ask for help for the cleaning part, but I got to do all the culvert stuff myself. So that's what I got to get super comfortable on and super quick at, which is nice. Now these 262s, they have a float, a hydraulic float. So basically if I get up just a little bit like that, then the hydraulics will float and it won't bounce, it won't be bouncy and the load won't bounce. So I'm gonna try to use that to my advantage because I gotta go, I'd say these are a quarter mile, maybe a little longer than a quarter mile long, and sometimes I gotta rip back and forth. So yeah, it just depends. Well, welcome to, I guess, the official first day. They're doing the full swing of the boom, full height. So over here with the culverts, I believe that's going to be 28 to 32, somewhere in there. The ag lady is going to make that call, or the foreman's going to make that call. But it's going to take them a little while to get to the culverts, so I got a little bit of time to get the nerves out. But the season apparently has officially started. I guess yesterday was the 1st of October. Today's the 2nd. So night crew did not pile because it rained really bad yesterday. So because we got to keep the factory running, they said they want 15,000 tons on the ground today before we're able to go home. So hopefully we can hustle and get it done early. Because we have Kelly and I have a group that we lead on Thursday night at 6:30 Central. So let's see if we can hustle and get it done. But either way, I'm over here. I'm in the skid steer. I got the regular bucket on because it is very muddy after the rain. I would imagine once the trucks come through a second time, it's going to start getting muddy. So I don't know that I'm going to be laying any culvert today. I talked to the foreman. He said maybe the first couple pipes. And then night crew is going to be ripping. And then when I get back on my next shift, we'll just be ripping right into it. So, but for today, we sit here and wait. We sit and wait. So, yeah, we'll see. So, sitting here for a little while. Pile's about 10, 12 feet. And they just shut the piler down and pulled the whole crew off. This is my piler that I'm supposed to stay at because I got to do the culverts and everything else. I'm just supposed to sit here until the radio chirps. So it's a good thing this cab is got heat and air conditioning. Bluetooth for my phone to play some tunes. I guess I'll sit here until I get a chirp on the radio to go help somebody else. Or they decide to start this piler back up. But either way, it's a good day. Day number 1, officially. Maybe. So they did shut down 4 because it was too muddy and they didn't want the beets on the mud. However, the sun's come out and it's dried up enough that they're turning back on. They did put me over at number 2, just doing cleaning. So all I did was bucket work over there. Super easy, a lot of fun. And now they just turned on number 4, so we're back here. They're going full height, full width, which means they got to get to, I believe over here with the culverts, they're going to go to 32 to 34 feet up, Right now they're at about 10. And so they got a long way to go before I have to start laying culverts. So I'm literally sitting here waiting on the truck to make a mistake or the piler operator to make a mistake for cleanup. So I'm literally sitting here watching the operation.
I look out across the water, I smell the salt and feel the breeze, but in my heart I hear the calling of my old home, Tennessee. We don't know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow. The sun is gonna rise each and every time, but I've still got Tennessee on my mind. From Reaper's Fork to Watertown, and maybe Johnson City or Memphis bound. No matter where I go, no matter what I see, I still hear the calling of Tennessee. And who we to know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow. The sun is gonna rise each and every time, and I've still got Tennessee on my mind.
So that little space in front of the truck and in front of the beet pile is literally probably 2 skid steers long. I have to be able to fit in there and lay pipe. I got to be able to stair step them back without the trucks running over me or the pipe. So it is going to be tight. It is going to be very, very tight and interesting. We'll see how it goes, because once I get in there, they're not going to be able to turn like that. So we'll see. We'll see. The mud's pretty good, so the truck's got to keep moving.
I miss the smoke on the Cumberland and the fireflies at midnight, and the color of the leaves in the fall.
Hello guys, so I am getting ready to make myself a shake for lunch. The boys are probably going to have some leftover pizza from last night, but today is official first day of the season. So Jeremy's working, and hopefully he's able to share a little bit of what he's doing at the yard. I know that he's allowed to have his phone with him, so we will hopefully be able to get some of that for you. But kind of wanted to give you a little bit of a look into what we're doing here at the campsite. Basically, we're doing normal life. The boys are currently playing games on their phones. Like I said, I'm getting ready to heat them up some lunch, and we'll probably run the trash to the dumpsters, because I got a couple small bags that I need to take, and I have a little laundry that needs to get done, which is probably something I should do before this shift gets off, so that the washers are free. They have 6 washers and dryers. I think I mentioned that before when we were walking around, but they are free, and as long as they are open, we're allowed to use them. So when I go to do the trash, I'm going to check and see if those are open, and yeah, that's what we're doing today. So about, I don't know, when we were in Utah, so what, 3-4 months ago, Jeremy and I started doing Shakeology from, it used to be Beachbody, but I think it's just Body now. But the reason that we chose to do this protein drink, is because it is full of superfoods. And so we use it as a meal replacement. Both of us do. And that has helped us a whole lot with getting the right nutrients in our bodies, and just a step towards making better choices for our health. And yeah, so that's one big change that we've made in the last couple of months, and definitely are enjoying the results from that. All right, so Johnny is getting our pizza. Let's see if I can turn it without dropping it. Our pizza ready for lunch for the boys, and we'll just microwave that up. Careful, watch your fingers.
I know.
All right, guys, it's time to finish up whatever you're doing. We're gonna have lunch here in a minute.
How long?
Just a minute. Good job, bud. Alright guys, so I am coming to get laundry. Jeremy happens to be with me because he had to be off a little early today. Temperatures are still a little warm for the season to officially have begun. But this is the laundry room. So it's 6 washers and dryers.